Hi, let's keep going. So we're going to talk about classifying data. So just as you can put animals into phylums and species into things, you can put different kind of data into categories. So the different category groups are based on the type of statistical analysis you want to perform. Before you start any kind of statistical analysis, you have to see what kind of data you're using. And this is extremely important in statistics. So in this class, we're going to talk about qualitative data, which is categorical data. It's data that you put in categories, or quantitative data. So qualitative data consists of labels or descriptions of the traits. It's typically non-numeric, but that's not a requirement. And here's some examples of it. So you see eye color, gender, religious preference, yes or no, hometown, family, favorite foods. Now here's some numbers. Social Security number, your GHC ID. These are actually, while they are numbers, you really can't do any kind of math with it. I couldn't find the average Social Security number because it really wouldn't tell me anything. So for quantitative data, that's count and measures. And when you do math with those, you get something meaningful out of it. And again, it's numeric. And some examples of height, weight, pulse rate, age, body temperatures, credit hours, test scores, and average rainfall. We could find the average rainfall for Georgia and compare it to Key West or maybe even Butte, Montana, and see the differences in that. While they could be explained by different things, but we could compare them. So let's look at some examples. So you're going to tell me if it's qualitative or quantitative. The number of houses a bank repossesses in 4 randomly selected months. So a bank could repossess 10 houses, 20 houses, 15 houses. So that would be quantitative because they could take all the number of repossessed houses and average them together. So number 2, 500 people are asked the frequency of which they eat chocolate. Never, seldom, occasionally, or frequently. Well, the minute that we put it in a category as opposed to saying how much chocolate you eat, when we give it never, seldom, occasionally, or frequency, we can't really average those words together and get anything. So that's qualitative. A McDonald's quality control inspector counts the number of fries in 40 individual servings. So they actually go through and get 4 individual servings, and they count how many fries are in each package. This is quantitative because they could say then for these 40 servings, I can average the number of fries up and get the average is. So that's a quantitative because it's a count or a measurement. The license plate of a car. While they do have numbers in them, it also has letters, and you really can't add and subtract letters together. So this would be a qualitative measure. We can even break down quantitative variables further. Remember, quantitative is the counts and measurements. We can have discrete variables and continuous variables. So discrete numbers can be assigned values such as 0, 1, 2, or 3. They're countable. Number of, an example, number of children, number of credit cards, number of calls received by switchboard, and number of students. The one way I remember discrete variables is I think of it as number of ducks. You really can't have 2.5 ducks or 3.5 ducks. You can have no ducks, 1 duck, 2 duck, 3 duck. So that's how you think of discrete. You really can't have fractions or decimals with it. For continuous variables, it can be any kind of number or value. It can be decimals, it can be fractions, and you attain it by measuring something. It often includes fractions and decimals, and examples are temperatures, heights, and weight. Because remember, you can be 5 feet, 7 inches tall, or you can be in inches, only inches, or you can be, your temperature can be in Celsius, Fahrenheit. So these all can be in fractions or decimals. So let's do some examples. Determine which of the following data are continuous or discrete. The number on the uniform of a football player. So we don't really see any fractions or decimals on the back of football players' jerseys, so this would be discrete. The temperature in Celsius in Paris, France. It's a temperature, which means there can be decimals in it, so that's continuous. The total weight of sugar imported by the United States each day. That could be continuous because you could have half pounds or 1/4 of a pound. And then the prices of 50 randomly surveyed new cars. Okay, prices. I didn't say in whole dollars. So remember, sometimes in prices you can have cents because of rounding and what the dealer adds on to it. So that would be continuous. And kind of here's the display of what you see. The data can be quantitative or qualitative, and under quantitative is discrete or continuous. I'm going to stop right here and we'll go on to types of qualitative data in just a second.